Hi friends, thank you for considering the Move and Improve campaign on our GoFundMe page for Sound Foundations Northwest. You probably recognize this building behind us and several of them just like it. And if you've read the description, you know the what about our Move and Improve campaign. What I'd like to share with you is the why. Our why is the people that are involved. Not only our great volunteers, but also the residents who live in the tiny home villages. Here's two of their stories. This is Alex. Alex always wanted to be a welder, but he didn't know how to do that. So when he came here, the social worker from Lehigh in the tiny home village set him up with South Seattle College in the vocational program for welding. They got him a full scholarship, and the only thing that he didn't have was a pair of steel-toed shoes. One of the volunteers here heard that he needed a pair, went out that night and bought him a pair, and literally left them on his doorstep. This is Alex after he's graduated from welding school. Now the assumption here is that most people who live in tiny homes automatically go to low-income housing, and that's not always the case. In Alex's case, he makes a good living as a welder, and so he's now out in the world, not on Section 8 homes, not on low-income housing, but doing his own thing, living his own life, and we love him for that. The second story has to do with community. When you're homeless, it's really hard to be trusting of people, let alone be involved in a community. But what Tiny Home Villages gives you is that sense of community. They're self-governed, and by self-governing, they learn that sense of community. This is my friend Sonia. This is the day that she got her tiny home with the then mayor of Camp Second Chance, my buddy Eric Davis. 6 months after she got her tiny home, she found out she had brain cancer. This is her best friend Lily. Lily was there for her the whole time. Lily would take her to the bathroom, she'd make sure she got her meds on time, she'd take her to the doctor, she'd bring her food. This is what community is all about. Tiny homes are great, but community is really what they learn here, and they thrive. Now I'm happy to say, 6 months later, this is Sonia in her home, permanent home, doing her artwork with the dog Bryce, happy and content. Without the Tiny Home Village program, and without your donations to fund our Move and Improve campaign, and ultimately to fund more and more tiny homes, I personally don't believe Sonia would have made it. Alex probably would have never had the opportunity to become a welder. And let me tell you, I've been a builder here for 3.5 years. I've heard hundreds of stories, just like Sonia's, just like Alex's, David's, Larry's. There's a lot of good that happens in these tiny home villages, and we want to do it more and more. We still have thousands of people sleeping on the streets night after night, and now the rains are coming, and maybe the snow even will come this winter, and they'll still be out there on the streets. Help me get my friends off the streets. This is important. This is what life's about. This means a lot. The other day when I left, my friend Larry, who lives right here, saw me go out. He's a big tall Texan with a big tall Texan drawl, and he peeked out his window and he looked at me and he says, "Love you, girl." That's how they feel about us. So help me, help our friends.